All right, let's please welcome Chuck Udzinski.
Hey, good evening. You guys, bartenders and servers treating you right?
Yeah.
All right, just remember, tipping is not a city in China. So if you're sitting, okay, that struck a nerve with a few of you. All right, that's good. If you're sitting up close, you might see my hand shaking a little bit. I'm not nervous. I went to the doctor about it, and he says, Chuck, you want your hands to stop shaking, you need to stop drinking beer. So I quit drinking beer, but apparently bourbon has the same effect. So not really nervous. I was coming from the airport tonight, and I'm usually coming from the airport. I spend a lot of times in airports. And almost late for the show. I'm trying to get here, and I'm in back of a Prius in the left lane. Okay? We heard that a little earlier, right? It's like, look, I'm all about saving the environment, but for Christ's sake, do it from the right lane. Okay? Get out of my way. So, anyway, I mentioned the airport. I spend a lot of time there, do a lot of flying for my day job. And, flying isn't what it used to be. When I took my first flight, I don't know, it was back sometime in the 70s, I guess. Yes, they had planes back then. It was a special occasion. You got dressed up, you felt good, you looked good, you felt special, you're going on a plane. Now, it's like a goddamn bus with wings. Okay? I'm telling you, they'll let anybody on that thing. I'm in Atlanta a couple weeks ago. I fly a lot, so I get upgraded to first class. I sit down in 4A, feeling good, long day. I'm kidding you not. The guy sits down next to me as a cross between the Geico caveman and Ted Udzinski, the Unabomber. All right? This guy is trouble from the word go. He's sitting there playing a single shooter Nintendo game. He's up walking around when he's supposed to be sitting, disobeying every single rule, and there are a lot of rules when you fly, okay? Finally, we're on the final approach into Baltimore, and this guy pulls out a lighter, and I'm telling you, I'm not making this up, starts flicking his bic, okay? So I jump up. I'm like, I've been on the edge of my seat the entire flight already. Hey, man, what are you doing here? You're lighting the lighter? I knocked the lighter out of his hand. Well, the flight attendant comes back, and let's give you an idea of the difference between flying coach and flying first class, okay? She comes back, sir, what's the matter? I say, he's lighting his lighter here, you're not supposed to be doing that, guy's a fruitcake. Yeah, let's just say I know how to make friends and influence people, okay? So, anyway, she says to him, and I'm quoting, sir, you really need to sit down and obey the rules. How about if I bring you another drink? I'm like, what? If this guy's sitting back in coach, when this plane lands, he'd be in handcuffs back in some dark room with somebody's fist up his ass, okay? No, not in first class, we're going to bring him another drink. So, it's unbelievable. So, MH370, you've heard about that. It's very sad, very, very sad indeed. That plane's been missing something like 70-some days now. Very tragic. My problem with that is I think we've got the wrong people looking for that plane. We got the military out there and all their fancy equipment. What I really think they need, let me just ask this question. You ever been late on a student loan? You ever think you're not going to pay that student loan back? That's who we need looking for MH370, okay? Right? All we got to do is tell them there's 3 Americans on there. They owe $2,500. That fucking plane will be found tomorrow. Oh my God. You know, the hell with the military. Then there's CNN. There's a bunch there. Those bastards, they don't want that plane ever to be found. Okay? You know, they'd have 20 hours of programming to fill if we find that plane tomorrow. You got Wolf Blitzer out there in the Situation Room. Tonight on the Situation Room, we're going to be interviewing distant relatives of Amelia Earhart. Jesus Christ, are you kidding me, Wolf? Is that the best you can do? You know what I think? I'm going to tell you where I think that plane is. I think it's at CNN. I think Ted Turner found that plane. I think Ted Turner found that plane, and he's got it stashed away in a garage somewhere in Atlanta. If I were to go looking for it, I'd start at CNN's parking lot. That would be my first place. So yeah, you can't find a 777. Are you kidding me? So you know, back to flying again. Seems to be a theme here tonight. You've been on a flight, you know, they do that little safety demo thing, right? You've heard it every time you fly. It hasn't changed since Orville and Will were right, you know? So, you know, you get up there and it's like, wah, 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 wah. They don't want to be doing it. You don't want to be listening, okay? If the plane ever goes down, we're all fucked because none of us are ready to go, okay? What, yeah, what? You know, they start out with the seatbelt, how to use a seatbelt, okay? Look, it's this simple. Penis, vagina. Okay? Just that simple. Enough said. You don't know how to use a seatbelt, you're a bus person. Get off. Yeah, they want to tell you about where all the emergency exits are on the plane. Look, yeah, they're pointing and waving and double crossing and everything. Here's what I do. I memorize what every flight attendant's ass looks like, okay? Male and female. Because when I see it go out the door, I'm following that person, all right? I figure they know the way the hell out of there. I want to talk to you about the life vest, okay? Look, if you can't do the seatbelt, you're never going to do the life vest, okay? Buckles and straps and blow in this and turn the light on. And, look, forget about it, okay? I got to do the seatbelt. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Oh, my favorite, the oxygen mask, right? Yeah, in the event of an emergency, you know, oxygen's going to fall from the ceiling. Put your mask on first, right? Before you help anyone else. If you're traveling with kids, multiple kids, pick the one with the best potential. So, let's see, we've got Karen, who's a really good speller, and Chucky, who's eating more paste than vegetables. Yeah, we're going to help Karen first, okay? Yeah, we'll give Karen a little bit of help there. So, yeah, that was crazy. And finally, you know, I got to get down to the pilots, you know. Man, what the hell are these guys up to? You know, they're like kids with a new toy up there. They want to get on the microphone every 10 minutes and tell you what the hell's going on. Good evening, folks. This is Captain Stubing from the flight deck, and tonight we're going to be flying at 39,000 feet and fair weather all the way, landing on runway 25 or 26. What are you kidding me? Shouldn't we know where we're going to land the damn plane before we leave ground? Okay? You know, they come on with the silliest things. Oh, you ought to see the view from up here. It's spectacular. Yeah, got a lot of green lights on up here. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, there's one red one there. A couple more red ones. Looks like we got a little smoke up here in the cockpit. We're going to check that out just as soon as somebody comes up here and shows me how to work the seatbelt. All right, guys, thank you. You've been great.